everyone, it's Des SEN, and here are my picks and what worked for us for our kindergartner slash first grader. She started off going to kindergarten, and now she has tested, and we've assessed her, and she is in the middle of first grade. So these resources seem to work, and I can't wait to show you. Okay, so here are the language arts handwriting curriculum that we decided to use. There are many programs. You have Easy Peasy, that is a great program. You have The Good and the Beautiful, that's a great program. I'm sharing with you what worked for us, and so here we go. I found that Spectrum really worked well for us. So you have Spectrum Language Arts, we have Spectrum Sight Words. We actually ended up using The Good and the Beautiful handwriting. So I'm gonna go through these very quickly. Okay, so Spectrum is a great resource. It's very easy. This is something you can kind of test out to see if your child responds to like worksheets. But I try to not just give her a worksheet and sit her down. I use it as an instruction tool. So I'm actually like teaching it to her as we're practicing together, so that it doesn't seem like I'm just putting a piece of paper in front of her. So what I liked about Spectrum is when it comes to planning, they have everything laid out where it's lessons, and you can clearly see what you're reviewing. So you're going to be going over alphabet, grammar, sentences, mechanics, punctuation, letter sounds. There's about 3 to 4 lessons and 2 reviews per section, and it definitely covers the entire homeschool year. So it's a great resource. The lessons aren't too long. They're not, boring. They're in color, and this was relatively affordable. Like this was $11.99. So this was really good. And so this is a great base or spine for language arts. In addition to language arts, we purchased this sight word book. Now the way that we did sight words, this is more for practicing in manuscripts. It does go through your first grade sight words, and I guess you can give this to them directly and, just have them do it. What I chose to do, I purchased these flashcards. The Game Note flashcards. And in the Game Note flashcards, they have different levels. And we're, obviously on level 1. And the flashcards are very basic. But we took the level 1 flashcards, and just every week I just went over flashcards with her. So we would do the flashcards. We wouldn't just hold the flashcard up and she's memorizing it. We would do the flashcards. She would do the memorization. Sometimes we would hide the flashcards, and you would have to do hide and seek. And so she would look for the card, and then when she finds it, she has to say the word. Sometimes we would practice writing it out in her journal. I also got these magnet letters, and they come in a box, and they're magnetic, and they come with a little whiteboard, but we also practice spelling the sight words as well. So in addition to she had different practice during the week using different tools, but we're still covering the sight words. So we didn't just do this book. This was kind of like the last resort. Generally, we use the Game Note cards, and then we used infused games and also highlighters. In terms of handwriting, we actually used, we started with the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. She liked it. She liked it for the most part. You can only give so many pages. So They practice writing the letter, and then it's generally like a picture at the end of the page, but they have to, you know, draw out something like a picture, finish drawing the picture. I mean, I think it served its purpose. In addition to that, when I needed some extra practice for handwriting, we used this. This is the Head Start Pre-K Handwriting and Printing. And it really is just practicing the letters. That's it. You just practice them over and over and over again. They have little crayons on the side so they can use different colors. But you just practice the letters over and over again. There's nothing special to it, but it was simple and it was practice that she needed. So she actually probably liked doing this better than the Good and the Beautiful, but it is a great option for you. To round off the sight words, once we went past the sight words and we learned the mechanics of beginning to read and putting words together, we started off with the Bob books. Now this is the second stage 2. I can't find my stage 1s, but we ended up doing Bob books for reading practice. This really worked because it reinforces sight words that you're probably learning anyway for kindergarten, first grade. And each Bob book is very small, so they feel like they can really accomplish the reading. It's very simple. It's not anything major, but she can get through them on her own. She can read it aloud. He or she can read it aloud. And they come with different sets. All this will be linked below so that you can determine what level is best for your reader. But the Bob books really work. They're not intimidating. They reinforce the sight words, and they're very well priced. The last pick in the language arts sight word grammar area, we actually enjoy Can You Find Me? It's the critical thinking company. It's building thinking skills in reading, math, science, and social studies. So this is something we did together. They're like riddles. So you're gonna have to read it to your child, but it's a riddle, and they basically have your child figure out the answer to this riddle based on what's happening in the picture. So it's like problem solving. They really do have to think through it because they're actually challenging. And in the back of it, I like it because it gives you the answers, but then it also gives you the skill that they're actually doing. So it'll tell you, okay, this was dealing with math, classification, sequence, analogy, logic, symbols, tools, weather. Like, it just tells you what it was about, like what she practiced based on how far you went. And this company has quite a number. I haven't tried all of them, but this was pretty good. A pretty good resource to kind of break up. So we have Spectrum that worked for us, Good and the Beautiful. We have Handwriting. Oh, one other thing. We really incorporated, once we got through the Bob books, we wanted to kind of do something different. And so we really got a number of the I Can Read books. These really work well, and it kind of was a step up for her. And I always kind of like to get books a little bit more challenging, not just the ones that she can breeze through. So this, we had a couple of these books that she can actually go through. And sometimes we actually used it for handwriting. So we would take a page and she would see if she can identify a sight word, and she would identify it. And then she would copy what was in the book in her journal as handwriting practice. Like, she would just straight copy it. So this was, these books came in, handy as well. All right, I hope that this helped you in determining what you can do for language arts, grammar, handwriting for your kindergartner. Leave a comment below, leave any questions that you have. Make sure you check the links below. And for the access to all of these resources that I use. And happy homeschooling. I hope it all works for you. Bye, Mama.